Hello. How you guys doing out there? It's your girl, Dani. Yes. I was off last week. Had to take a little mental health break. That good old COVID vaccine that got a girl down. I was calling for the Lord. I was scared. Yes. I'm excited. So excited. Listen. We are unveiling the Unmask Her. Oh my God, the Unmask Her conference, which is happening next week. And I have in the virtual studio the Unmasking in Bonnets and DURAGS panel. Listen, you guys, if you do not have your ticket, you do not want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Go to Eventbrite. I think we have 20 slots left. I'm technically not sure. I'm just being honest. I haven't checked today. But last I checked, we had 20 slots left. We only have 100. The platform can only hold 100. So we need you all there. It will not be live streamed. It is going to be closed circuit because we want to truly just unmask, be authentic, get help, whatever it is we stand in need of. That is the purpose. So the first thing I need you guys to do is go to the page. That's right. I'm putting it back up there. I want you to click the bell. Go ahead and click it. Click the bell. Then I want you to like the page. Yes, I need you to like the page. It helps with the algorithm. Then I want you to share it. Share this page. Share it with your friends. Share it with your network. Because we're going to have a really great conversation tonight. So I need you guys to do that for me. Yes. Listen, I miss you. I don't know if you miss me, but we are on the other side, baby. Let's go. If you need a good laugh, spirit lifted, support or encouragement, you are in the right place for Dani Direct. You didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear nothing. I want the Cox people to come back out here. They was just here. Now, how is my Wi-Fi slow? And when I'm hardwired, it's slow. They're going to give me a refund. You're going to hear this one more time. Okay. If you need a good laugh, spirit lifted, support or encouragement, you are in the right place for Dani Direct. Cops won't let me be great today. So I'm not going to hold it up. But you know, you are in the right place with your girl, Dani Direct. Woo! Yes! Did you miss me? Because I really did miss you. I really missed you. All right. We got one more piece of business that we have to check out. Because I don't know about you, but some days you feel bloated. Some days you're just not about that life. So we got this good old TLC, baby. Yes. Get you some NutriBurst. If you look at me and you saying, why is she always hype? I'm on that NutriBurst. Yes, I am on that NutriBurst. And I drink the Delgado coffee. It helps with bloating. It helps with weight loss. It curbs your appetite. And in addition to that, I take a couple of those chaga pills. I do. I love them. But if you are low in energy, get you some NutriBurst. If you feel bloated, if you like coffee and you want something to help curb your appetite, go ahead and get that. And I am your favorite TLC distributor. So you have to order with me. Hit me up in the inbox if you're ready. All right? Okay. Now, I know y'all like looking at me, but I got some people in here that you are going to want to listen to and look at. I got to start off with my girl. It's my girl. Yo, in the house. Everybody say yo,
hey.
Everybody say hey.
Oh,
yes.
How are you?
Yes. Then we had, tell the people where you coming from, yo.
I'm all the way in Texas.
Is it still snowing?
No, it's hot.
Oh, I didn't know if you were still down.
It's almost 80 degrees, girls. Almost 80 degrees. This weather's crazy.
Okay, well, speaking of 80 degrees, it's your girl, Free.
Hi.
How are you?
I am doing well.
Great. What's the weather there?
It's a little chilly. It's a little chilly in California. It's about a whole 60 degrees. That's a little breezy.
A whole 60 degrees is
right.
That's a little chilly in California. But
what part of California are you in?
I am in Southern California. California.
Hey, no California. No kind of party.
Okay. All right. Now, listen, I got to bring your boy. He was the ladies' favorite. I mean, smooth. You know what I'm saying? He had him inboxing me, trying to get me to play the $1 Million Matchmaker. It's your boy, Ron Mack.
Hey, ladies, how y'all doing this evening?
How you doing?
Wonderful.
And where are you coming from, sir?
I'm coming from the great place of Virginia, Chesapeake area, and bringing you greetings from the Greater Grace Church, where the Bishop James E. Jones Jr. is the founder and senior pastor. And we have beautiful weather for the last 2-3 days here. 68, 70 degrees. I'm loving it.
That's chilly and free.
That was a great. Well, I think everybody need to go out and come back in like Ron. He was professional, you know.
No, y'all keep that energy going. I'm loving it.
Don't worry. Okay, it's the deacon. Yes. The deacon with the smile, the deacon with the word, and the deacon that is crazy is all outdoors. Yes. It's your boy, Deacon Jazz.
Hey, how's everybody doing? We need to stop that. It's great to be on here with you guys. I am on the road. I am currently working. I'm at a truck stop somewhere in the mountains of North Carolina on my way to New York. So I done went through every climate change the East Coast has right now. I done went through semi-cold. I don't even know what it's gonna be there, but I'm prepared for it. So it's good to see everybody.
Jesus. Do you have the emergency brakes on?
Yes, the air brakes are popped. I'm fine. I was actually asleep. My wife woke me up and said, "Hey, don't you got something to do tonight?" I said, "You sure right. I sure do." Let me get up.
Thank you, cousin. Thank you, cousin, for reminding him. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, all right. Here we go. We got to bring all the fellas in at the same time.
Yeah.
This is my other cousin, smooth as ice and silk, all at the same time. Listen, he was the host of the Forgive Her conference last year.
Yes.
And when I tell you, he had us in there, huckama, shuckama, hucka, hucka. He was in there. Lord, to God be all the glory. It is Minister Lawrence Bone Mack. Wait, is you Bone Mack? And then we have Mac. Lord, we got a Mac Bone Mack. That's what I'm talking about. Rob, hey, how you doing?
How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
How y'all doing? I'm all the way live. I see we got some faces. He got the Dolphins up there. Okay. We'll pray for him.
Right.
I'm seeing that up there. That's like one of the first things I noticed. How y'all doing, ladies? What's up, cuz? How you doing, cuz?
We good.
We are already going in. Okay. Everybody sound good? Now listen, this panel would be nothing. Where'd she go? Where did the wisdom go? The wisdom just fell off. Lord, come back, Miss Beamy, come back. Okay, she's gonna be back. Oh, there she is. There she go. We had to have some wisdom up here because you know sometimes I can get a little bit out of control. So we brought in the wisdom, and that wisdom is Miss Penny Beeman.
Hello. How you doing? How you doing?
How's everybody? Yes. Miss Beeman, tell us where you are coming from.
I'm right here in Chesapeake, enjoying this warm weather while it lasts.
Yes.
Amen.
Okay. So VA is represented, of course. But let me just tell you about this young lady. I met her a couple of years ago. We met via church. She just happened to come to a service that I was ministering at. We got in contact, and she has a show called Chick Chat. And when I tell you she had my lashes hanging off, she does a class where it just helps you to get in contact with yourself. And her brand is The Winning Chick. She has affiliations and groups, subgroups under her all over the United States. She's such a sweet, humble person. You wouldn't even know that she has all of that going on. But she does. She's beautiful. She's funny. And she is the host of the Unmasking and Bonnet, Dr. Shannon Cherry. You got me. You see what I'm saying?
Okay with the music.
Come on, y'all.
What? And they stay there.
Hey, y'all.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, how are you?
Yes, I am so excited. I am so excited. Tell us about you, Dr. Shannon.
Hi, guys. My name is Dr. Shannon Cherry. I am the founder of Winning Chicks. Awesome ministry. I teach women how to win from within. We don't want anyone suffering in silence anymore. I suffered for 14 years, and my goal is to not allow anyone to suffer in silence anywhere anymore. Yeah, I just go out and I just encourage and just lift people up and just teach them that sometimes we can make sure the outside look good, but really on the inside we're dying. And I died in church for many years because my insides were dying. But now I'm on a goal. Allow people to understand that you have to win from within first.
Yes.
So nice to meet y'all. Y'all ready?
Yes. We have to win from within. Yes. So let me just tell you all of you out there listening. First, I want to know, did you like the page? No, you did not. So go ahead and like the page. What you waiting on? Just click like. Okay. If you have liked the page, have you gotten your ticket?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, tonight we're going to be giving away a ticket, but we're not going to tell you when we're going to give away a ticket because we want you to stay for the show. Now, what I need you all to do is let me know if you have shared this video by putting share in the comments. I need you to let me know. All right, we got Reverend Majors all the way from Georgia. Woo-hoo. Hope you're feeling better. Yes, it is a family affair, George. It is a family affair. Yes. All right, so we're going to just get right into it. So the purpose of the Unmasking in Bonnets and DURAGS, it is just an opening for the conference. The conference this year is Unmasquerade. Is that you, Deacon Jazz? Is that your headset? Is somebody calling you? Who got a house phone? I know that's right. I haven't heard house phone in forever.
I only got one phone.
Me too. I don't even have a phone. I got a phone number, but no phone. Okay, so the Unmasking in Bonnets and DURAGS is an opening for the Unmasquerade. The Unmasquerade is an event that you all are all invited to. It's an event for you to become unapologetically who you are. So if you have not, yeah, I got to mute. I had to mute. If you have not become who you are because of various reasons, we have classes, we have services, we have all different types of things to help you in the journey of becoming who God created you in becoming. We get so caught up in a whole bunch of different things. We get caught up in what the world says is beautiful. We get caught up on what the past has told you who you're supposed to be. We get caught up in what our parents expected from us. We get caught up in what our lover, our relationship, whoever, they rejected us, they dumped us. Then we get caught up in our own insecurities and things like that. So this whole conference is purpose around you becoming everything that God created you in being. He does not need another carbon copy of someone else. He does not need a fake version of someone else. He needs the authentic, original copy of you. You are beautiful. He said you are fearfully and wonderfully made in his image. Therefore, in order to do that, you got to take the mask off. You got to take off all the layers of stuff that you've put in and put on because of what somebody else told you. So that's what this is all about. So we are going to jump right in. We are going to talk about rejection. Let's talk about it. I mean, has anyone ever been rejected and it just tore you apart?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Who wants to talk about an experience they may have had with rejection?
What happened?
Nothing. Go ahead. Who wants to talk about an experience they had with rejection?
I thought Yomi said she was going.
I didn't say that. Well, I will. But go ahead. I'll go ahead and put my business. Oh no, Siri. Wait a minute. I had a rejection of I was dating someone that I truly I say I was in love with.
Sorry, I missed that.
Hold
Could
on.
you say?
Thought I was truly in love with. And he didn't feel the same. And it tore me up. Like I felt like I wasn't worthy.
Hold on 1 second. Everybody else mute your phone. If you're not speaking, if you could mute. Thank you.
So I just felt like I wasn't worthy of anything. It crushed me a lot to where I didn't even want to be here no more. That was a few, some years ago, but that was a rejection that I thought that was just detrimental to me because I gave my all to somebody.
Okay. Has anyone else experienced rejection? Maybe not even romantic. I mean, have you ever been fired from a job? Have you ever been evicted out of a home? Have you ever been told, that your services weren't needed?
I'll speak on that. I gave 14 long years of my life to the military, and needs of the Navy, downsizing, quota meeting, all that type stuff. I didn't get promoted to the next grade, so I had to leave, and it was bittersweet. But to go from a lifestyle of living where everything was given, well, I ain't gonna say given, but it was there for you. Housing, clothing, access to a job, access to monthly income, and the threat of losing that can be very scary, especially with a dynamic of a large family that I have. I got 6 children, and to get out and rely on God, you have to understand what faith is then when it's upon you. And was I adequate? I feel like I was adequate at the time, even as a deacon. I had doubts of getting out, and did I fail, or did I not provide like I was supposed to as a man. So yeah, I wrestled with that getting out of the service. That was my rejection, because everybody who ever been in the service, they want the 20 years. They want to retire. That is the goal. That's the goal thing.
Definitely the mindset. I know
that is the mindset, but
it is. Because
but
after
even
you've
in
done
that,
10 years, it's time to, you just pushing on through. You over the hill. You ready to keep going. Dr. Shannon, what are some of your experiences with rejection? As far as like women, maybe you've dealt with, you're still muted.
It's mute. My biggest, okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I've been rejected from the church. I was married
Mm,
14 years. I was a first lady. And when I decided to leave my marriage, the church turned against me. So rejection from the church, what I would say is one of my biggest rejections. Rejection from a mother. Just last month, not that me and my mother have a great relationship now, but she told me she rejected me in the womb. She didn't want me in the womb. So we grew up with tension between her and I because of that seed of rejection was planted in her womb. And then the seed of rejection from the church. So when I left in 2016, I completely turned myself away from the church. So rejection is pretty huge in my life. I'm so glad that I've overcome it, but I can really share on rejection.
wow. And so this is something that we are going to, of course, at the conference, we're going to get more into, because this is a women's conference. And you're saying, well, why are there men up there? Because they can give the other side. A lot of us women, you think you're a man,
Mm-hmm.
or because you may have had to act in the male's role, or because you've had relationships with men, you think you know how a man feels. But we need to know from the other side, because do they really care about your eyelashes? Do they really care about your weave? So we want to hear from them. So I'm going to push forward. Now let's talk about insecurity. Everybody has a thing. Everybody has something that they, may not be the most confident about. It may not even be something physical. Maybe it is your handwriting. Maybe it's, the way you process things. But everybody has something that they feel a little insecure about. I'm going to get all the way from California. I'm going to get Free to tell us maybe about an experience that you have with insecurity.
Well, what I think about in terms of career, with it being Women's History Month, right? When we think about in terms of women being in leadership. And so if I think about, typically you're in a space with it being male dominant, right? They are the ones that have the voices. Those are the decision makers. And so at times you're wondering, what should I say? Did I say the right things? Are they going to look at what I'm saying as like, that is a woman's perspective? Are they even going to value something that I'm saying? So sometimes there's a space that I'm in terms of career wise, where I do tend at times to feel insecure.
That is such a great point, and I'm sure a lot of us ladies can relate to that, especially those that have been in the military. It's very hard as a first sergeant to stand in front of a group of men and bark out orders, let alone Caucasian men in Little Rock, Arkansas. So I definitely know that, and some of my insecurities were very high illuminated, I will say, from that. Let's get Miss Beeman. Can you give us something about insecurity, or some PTP, some techniques? What are some things about insecurity that you've experienced?
Well, believe it or not, I was insecure for most of my life. I just felt that I didn't live up to the expectations of others, except in one area, and that was academics. So I tried to overcompensate. I did not want to be wrong about anything because my pride was in the way. And so I wanted to be right because I just felt insecure. I became a people pleaser. And I was real concerned. Well, what did you think? How did I do? You know, and thank God I'm overcoming that. I'm not all the way there, but I seek to please God and God only. And I know if I can do that, then I'll be okay. But it has been a struggle most of my life, and I really can't pinpoint where it started. And a lot of people, when they hear that from me, they're shocked because they said I don't carry myself that way. But I didn't carry myself that way because I didn't want you to know that I felt less than. I had to always look well put together. Everything I did, I wanted well put together. And if it wasn't, I worried, what can I do? What do I need to do? So yeah, I've lived that. I've lived that.
That is so perfect. That's exactly what this conference is about. And if we will all be honest, at some point or another, we all have that mask on where we look like we got it together. We had our head held up high, and we had no signs of weakness, no signs of sadness or anything. But you would go home exhausted because you have acted all day as if you got it all together. Go ahead, Frost.
So as crazy as it may seem, I got a big insecurity about speaking in front of, not even in front of people, just speaking and having myself recorded. I got like a slur in my speech. I call it a slang. And you might not catch it if I'm just talking out. Like a lot of times when I minister and somebody record it, I don't even really like to go back and hear my sermons because I can hear all of the words that I don't pronounce right, or my words come together and slur together. And it's one of them things like I always got to get over my nerve to just talk in front of people for that one English major in the group that I'm talking to that want to correct all my punctuation, want to tell me that I ain't stopped when I was supposed to stop, or my words ran together. So I actually have a major problem with speaking in front of people. But then God got this crazy thing of saying, man, you do all this talking to hype some people up when it comes to sports. You need to use that same energy when it comes to motivating people to live for me. So that's one of the things I always, if you ever heard me on tape and see me watch my tape, it's crazy how I like, oh man, I cringe because hearing myself back on tape, it's like, wow.
And it's amazing to me. And that's one of the reasons why I think this panel is so important. Again, this is for the Forgive Her Conference 2021. Y'all know I got a little piece of ADD, so I got to get it in while it's on my mind. This is for the Forgive Her Conference 2021 that is taking place next week, next Friday. This panel will be having a discussion. You will not be able to find it on any platform. There will be no platform, which it's a closed session virtual sanctuary event. So you have to get your tickets. If you do not have a ticket, it's not too late. You can still purchase a ticket. But exactly what we're talking about is some of the things that we're going to be talking about then. Listen, you have been battling something. You have been feeling insecure about something. What better way than to be with a group of people, like-minded people that can share that same experience with you, and we can work through it together. We can come out better than we went in. And that's what everyone is saying, from being a people pleaser to being insecure about the way you speak, to me being insecure. And people laugh when I say that about my bald edges. I got all this hair in the back and none in the front.
Y'all better pray for my cousin.
It's not a joke. Listen, I am being so serious. I refuse to allow people, because it feels like my hairline start back there, because it's growing in, but it's gray. is thin, and then the rest of my hair is thick. So I'm always either wrapping it with something or I just wear a wig because I refuse to be out there like that. Insecure. Insecure. It may seem simple, but that's damaging because the wigs is damaging it more. It's crazy the things that we do. So I just want people, listen, I'm an open book. I am an open book because I too was worried about what people thought about me. But now I don't care. But these edges, I can't let nobody see that. I don't even want to see that. No. Okay. Joy said, Mr. Frost, think about Moses. God told God, why me? I don't have eloquent speech. So true. So true. Okay. Now, speaking of the insecurities, let's talk about feeling like you're not good enough. And that comes from somewhere. You know what I mean? We weren't born insecure, and we weren't born thinking we weren't good enough. Somehow, some way, that came from somewhere. Is there anyone that has an experience with not feeling like you're good enough? Hey, Pastor, we love you. Pastor Paulette and Howard Carr. Listen, Pastor Paulette and Howard Carr helped us to raise over $800. To God be the glory, so that we can donate to this grandmother for this conference. That is a blessing. Thank you so much. We love you. We love you. Okay, let's talk about not being good enough.
So real quick, I struggle with this majority of my life. As y'all know, you and Jazz know, my brother was the star at pretty much everything he did. And it was a standard that was set on my life that I had nothing to do with, to be this great athlete in football, basketball, baseball, and track. And everybody would call me Lil Teray. They want to call me Small Fry. They want to make sure I got the number that he got and everything. And it wasn't until my brother told me, it was like my 11th grade year, he was like, look, man, you are better than me in a lot of things in life, and you do not have to get my number in football. You do not have to try to go to the same school I went to. You do not have to try to fill my cleats or my shoes at all. Because in certain things in life, I look up to you. And that gave me a release on my life to understand that all this time I've been chasing the dream of trying to be what my brother was or better. And when he came and told me that you ain't got to worry about that, I mean, I was able to really become a whole nother man because I wasn't trying to live like another man.
That's good. What about you? Oh, go ahead.
I'm the baby, just like Bo. Actually, me and him like stair step growing up. I come from a male dominant family. Yes, I got beautiful cousins like Renita. There's a lot of women on that side of the family, but the Copelands are egotistical men. They had women out of this. They had just, it was just the typical egotistical man. And if I didn't own up to that, was I a Copeland? If I didn't run, if I didn't play a sport, if I didn't know how to work on a car, if I didn't know how to groom a yard, it was just longing to be respected as a man in your own tribe. And sometimes when you ask where these insecurities come from, and it comes from people near and dear. It doesn't come from outside people because you really don't care what they think. It comes from your own family. It comes from the people who birthed you. They sometimes, like they say, I mean, yes, it can be people outside that coerce the actions, but it comes from family. Sad as it may sound, that because attacks only come from people you care about. That where they're not effective.
Oh my God, that is so true. Because somebody that you don't care about, someone that is not dear to your heart, they don't have that same effect on you.
No.
They're not going to be able to put that amount of, I would say, unwanted pressure and stress on you. because who are you? You know, this you like, oh, okay. You know, it doesn't matter. But somebody that 1 minute says I love you, but then turn around the next minute and tell you that you're too black or your hair too naughty,
I told my
or you know,
I told
you
my
too
boys
fat. You know,
to
all
my
these
daughter.
crazy things.
I told my boys to my daughter, stop telling your sister she's ugly, or you get on my nerves, or you're dumb, or you're stupid. No matter what you could perform in front of your family members, if you hear something 365 for X amount of years, tell me you're not gonna believe it.
That's right.
Even if you don't want to, even if you know better, you're still gonna believe it. So I raise my kids to be like, your sister is a princess. Your sister is beautiful. Don't let her get away with murder. I get that. However, the insecurities that she deals with in men, she's gonna find that when she gets older. And then you're gonna be wanting to kill the guy who's treating her that way, but you treated her that way your whole life. And she's just going to what her normalcy is.
Right.
So I believe the insecurities that we're speaking about are often at home.
And that's so good. And as women, you know, you put yourself out there, you present yourself. The world tells you that you got to be put together. The world tells us that we got to have our hair a certain way. You know, when we came out wearing our natural hair, some people always did. But when it became okay to wear your natural hair, the military told us that it was unkept. So you're telling me that who I am naturally is nasty. It's not good. It's not good enough. So you got that. Then you got family that's saying, I don't like that naughty look. I don't like that. You know, so we have all these different situations and things that are telling us, is it anybody else that know of? And then you think about the lovers, the people that you've given yourself intimately to, that are telling you different things about your body and telling you that this isn't right, or this isn't good enough, or this is messed up. Before you know it, you have become somebody else to everybody. Everywhere you go, every relationship you engage in, you're someone different, because all of these people have told you who you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
On top of you having your own notion of what you're supposed to be, and you wrestle with that daily.
Yes.
That's
One of my ladies, what do you have about that? About feeling not good enough? Any comments? Anything?
I can say this for myself.
I wanted to say, okay.
Wait. Go ahead, Yo-Yo.
For me, I felt like I wasn't good enough for my mother. I felt that as a growing up, well, she did say that she didn't love me, but I wasn't good enough. I wasn't the light-skinned daughter that she wanted. I wasn't the son or whatever she wanted. Like, I felt like I wasn't good enough for her. And that goes back what Jasmine had said, that it came from someone that gave birth to me, that made me feel like I was less than. And that carried a weight for a long time with me. Mm-hmm. So that's hurtful. And it did grow insecurities in myself with that whole, you know, my mother didn't want me. My mother thought I wasn't, you know, she left me. She didn't care about me and stuff like that. So that is part of my, you know, that I understand that part. That just is hurtful.
It is hurtful. And let me just ask the guys real quick, and then I'm going to give it to Dr. Shannon. Do you guys, we know that y'all are good guys. So I want you to put your bad boy hat on. Do you guys ever remember a time or know of a time or know of a friend of someone that you've seen them like berating or putting down their lady, and it was just so painful to you that you said you had felt convicted or felt compelled to have to say something to one of your partners, your friends, yourself if it was you? You know, you don't have to give the details. I'm just saying, was there ever a time where you know that what was being said was damaging? Don't all speak at the same
Yes,
time.
yes,
I
definitely.
was actually trying to
Um,
get a point of something else.
Definitely. I've had friends where we've actually fell apart, and still to this day don't speak how we should speak or how we was speaking, all because I've approached them on how they was either treating their lady or how they talked to them in front of me, or how they were, like just going about how the every day they would treat them with not really take them out, show them off, talk to them, and then when they get around them, they just like, whatever. Why you ain't got your hair done? You ain't done this all day. I mean, just put them down. Like, hold up, man. You don't understand. You ain't even asked her how she was doing or nothing. Because I mean, I had to find myself. Sometimes I come in the house. I come in the house on the phone. I got to come in the house and say, hey, baby, what I'm saying, how was your day? Because even if we don't, you know, hype our significant others up, our spouses up. I mean, we kind of degrade them. I mean, they go all day, you know what I'm saying? With a rough day, they come in the house, and first thing we do is say, hey, wait, what time you had dinner ready? That's kind of like degrading. We don't say, hey, baby, how you doing? You look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Tell them things. So, in talking to my friends that were doing that, I had to actually look back and say, whoa, I'm kind of going the same way they were going.
Thank you for sharing that. Pastor Ron,
Hey,
what
um,
about you? You was about to say something.
well, from my generation and the crew that I hang around, we didn't really fall into that bashing women or whatever. We had a few in the crew that would act out of character, but we never had a problem with checking one another and letting each other know, hey, the slip showing, and just letting the person know that they was out of bounds or whatever. So, but really hadn't had too much experience with that at all. But we get into stuff. We all human. We get into stuff. But I never had a problem with telling one of my partners, hey, listen, you need to tighten up.
Okay. Dr. Shannon, what did you want to say about that?
I was just going to speak about growing up. I was always picked on for my skin complexion. Nicknames Blackie. I have cousins that, pretty chocolate girl. So I grew up hating the color of my skin. And it took some time to really dig deep into myself, to really start looking myself in the mirror and start confessing that I was beautifully and wonderfully made. It took time. I had to post it around my room. I had to put it in my phone, in my mirrors, just to uproot those things that were said. We say things not necessarily knowing that we're planting roots in people, in places of hurt. I never thought that at the age of probably 6 or 7, when I started hearing those things, or I can remember it, that it would start affecting me as an adult. You know, so how you feel about yourself is really rooted in your childhood. Where did you first hear it? Where did it first enter your ear gate? When did it first enter into your heart? When did you first allow it to attach to you? Because we hear a lot of things, but everything doesn't attach. Certain things attach to us,
That's
so
right.
it causes us to function a certain way
Mhm.
as we become adults. So I wholeheartedly agree with everyone saying, because mine was the biggest, my skin complexion. I hated hearing about being dark skinned. I hated talking about Black History Month. I didn't want to hear anything about it, not even understanding that it was a root of someone else's ignorance towards me.
That is good, and that is actually one of the things that as women, and it's coming out even more, the colorism, because it's both sides of the spectrum. When you have someone dark, and people will say stuff like you're pretty for a dark skinned person, or you're this, you're that, and then on the other side,
Hmm.
oh, she a red bone, or she
Right.
this, or she too, you must have some white in your face. It's always something, and a lot of times those are coming from people that identify the same way we do. Black, You know, we tear each other up and put each other down. So
And it's funny how y'all think that's just for females.
well, I'm
saying is
sure
just
it's
the
No. I get it. But Bone laughing because Bone has been around me all his life. And the sad part about it, if you go back and you look into Deep Creek history, how many light-skinned guys were there? Wasn't a whole bunch of them.
Not a lot.
Not a lot at all. We were sprinkled in there. So I even get insecure when I hear like I'll be on social media and they'll be like, that, oh, you acting light skinned. And then I had to have an actual discussion with somebody. And I'm like, what is acting light skinned? Please explain that to me. But then they tell me, if you look at you and your crew, you're the lightest one. You didn't hang around a bunch of light skinned people, so you don't act light skinned. I'm like, what? So I'm not the pretty boy. I'm not always in the mirror. I don't believe every woman wants me. So in that stigma that women deal with in their color, men deal with it too. And it's like I done got to the point where, see, I'm a little, thank God for deliverance. I got a Peter spirit. I'll fight in heart. So I fought, 1980, born light skinned in a very dark skinned family named Jasmine. I fought all my doggone life. Oh, you saw, like, you said, oh, you got a girl's name. Do that feel like a girl hit you? But it's not just a female or male thing. It is a generational and it's a culture that has been pushed since slavery.
But you know, I'm gonna talk smart to you because you can't punch me because it's virtual. But the reason why we think it's female because this is a woman's conference.
I know, no, but I want you to understand that the same insecurities that some women have. You asked us to understand.
I didn't know.
Men deal with them too.
Hey, Doc, hey, cuz it was a women's conference last year, and I was hosting it, and I got the most out of all the conference last year than probably any woman in there. Yeah. I got delivered. I got everything I wanted in a woman's conference, man. It was so crazy. So crazy. And we turned that thing around and says, forgive us.
Yes. He sure did. He renamed the conference. But go ahead, Pastor. Pastor Shannon. Go ahead, Dr. Shannon.
Wait a minute. Forgive her. Forgive her.
Yeah, don't put that on me.
Been there, done that. It's the call. It's the order. God knows. But I just thank God, for you sharing that. Because I've always seen it, and that's what we do sometimes. We only look at what we're dealing with, and you never have any idea what someone else is going through. I never knew that, men took on that same offense or went through that same thing. So I thank you for sharing that, because now I just don't look at it as just women. Now I see that men go through it as well. It was a movie that was out, I can't think of the name, School Days. Y'all know I watched it, and when I started seeing them separate, I cut it off. I've never seen the whole movie. Why? Because certain things touch us, and they're called triggers. And I don't go too far into it tonight, but that you pulled out some triggers tonight, which is allowing us to heal. And Jasmine, I'm going to heal right along with you, because my name is Shannon. I've been called a boy as well too, just by having the name Shannon. So I totally understand, and I'm thankful for you overcoming and succeeding in this, because you can help another brother out. And I'm so thankful that I was invited to be a part of this, because we're gonna heal together. We're gonna overcome together.
Yes, I love it. Pastor Paulette and Pastor Howard said there was a time when people said that light-skinned men were out of style.
That time is now. No, that time is now. Being that it's such I'm not even being funny, especially because it's such a pro-black movement.
Right. And isn't that crazy that in order to be pro-black, you want to be, I don't want to say pitch black, but you know what I'm saying? You got to be dark.
No, yes, that is the stigma, because they're not actually talking about the culture. They're actually talking about the color.
Right. Because what is so beautiful about black is we have all different shades. That's what's so beautiful to me. Nobody else produces the variety of shades
As
that
a black
black
person.
people produce.
Exactly.
So why can't we just love that? Okay, but we're gonna move on because we could stay there. So another topic that we're going to discuss is relationships and sex. I mean, we got to. This is something that women, the Genesis. Let's go to the Bible. God told Eve, he said, unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So from the beginning, ever since that John Brown apple came into play, we have been going through. So when it comes to relationships, let's talk about that. We long for relationships. I mean, people will say, I know some women that say, I don't need a man. Well, maybe you don't need one, but I sure do want one. Listen, we got to be honest. So let's talk about I don't want to say the thirst, but the thirst, the thought, and I didn't say thought, I said the thought. Let's talk about all of that, because all of that is a part of the relationship. Listen, this is unmasking, right? A lot of women thought, because they thought that was the way to get a man, because they telling you, oh, girl, you look good. If you're twerking, if you're revealing, if you're showing, then you're the one that the guys want. At least that's what you think. That's what the world is saying, because that's what the world is promoting. So now she's thotting, and he's calling her everything but a child of God. He done got a piece and then moved on.
Can you say that? Can you say that one more time? You say, because I'm gonna use this one. You say she thotting because she thought.
Exactly.
That's all the part of the sermon I'm gonna use.
Yes. Thotting because
I'm thotting because I thought.
Yes. I mean, it's real. Who listen, I can relate. I give a testimony. I have thought. Go ahead, Pastor Ron.
We talked about this briefly on our last little episode of the podcast, and I just think that now being back in the dating world, it's just, we think different. And I won't say that, I hate that word thought and people doing this, that, and the third. I mean, because each generation did something, whether it was twerking, whether it was this, that, and the third, everybody did something. But I think now is that people don't really know what they want, and me getting back into the dating world, like I told you the other night, a lot of stuff is obsolete, opening up doors and cooking dinner and, things of that nature. You speak of the thirst. If you do them things that, the generation feel, oh, he's thirsty. He's this, he's that, So, and as far as sex, it's funny you brought that up, because I wanted to add this out. I didn't the other night because I didn't know if it was appropriate. But a couple of your people that came on there kind of disturbed me, the young ladies, because I really want to put this out, and please put this out to the young ladies. It's all right and it's natural to want or have desires. For them two, I'm not going to mention their names. I remember their names. That's how bad it disturbed me. To say, oh, well, no, I don't have no cravings. Well, it's easy to say that. If you don't like chocolate ice cream, it's easy for you to say, I don't do that. If you don't like tea, it's easy to say I don't like tea, but you might be a coffee drinker. But that disturbed me the other night to say, oh, well, God can do everything but fail. However come, we were born in the flesh. So I don't want no woman or, young lady to get that, well, I'm out of God's grace, or, I'm a thought, or I'm whatever. We all have desires. And if you say you don't have desires, you're lying to yourself, So I just really wanted to put that out there, and I hope them same sexual desires.
I just want to
Yeah.
make sure we was on the same sheet of music.
Yeah, sexual desires. I
They're
mean,
not.
especially like for me, I was married for 25 years before my divorce. And to say, oh, now I'm a ordained minister and God didn't bless me. I don't have them desires, and I don't. Anybody has that. Man, listen. Be honest with yourself. And we really need.
Come on, bro.
We really need to put that across to the young ladies that you're not out of God's grace. You're not an alien. You're not a thought. You're not a freak. You're not whatever. You're human. And I don't care how much more you got on you.
Not a thought. Having the desire or completing the action. Are you saying that they are not a thought, a freak, oh, all those things because they have the desire, or because they are having sex?
They have the desire. I'm talking about strictly the desire.
Right.
You know, strictly the desire.
Listen, I'm gonna put it out there. I don't think you are a thought, a freak, or whatever else if you're doing the action either. That's not mine to worry about. That's me. We know what the Bible say. We know what we're supposed to do. But just like somebody today had 5 pieces of chicken at one meal, that person that's having sex is the same thing. It's the same. In God's eyes, sin is sin. However, I think what it is that we're more comfortable with people overeating as Christians than we are with people having sex.
Well, that's the same. I mean, the church is you know, I'm glad where I'm at as far as my church, because the church will, and I would never really say this to too many people, but I understand why people have that feeling about the church, because we get in there, oh, you need to kick the homosexual out. You shouldn't allow these people in, and this, that, and the third. If you feel that is a sin, where should they be? Where do they get their healing from? If you don't put, if you tell them to leave the church.
So, say that, Ron. Say that.
You know, so I don't go in there and talk about the people that went to the club Saturday or the people that got high the day before. So why would I just home in on, you know, on certain things? But, you know, my thing is, and I'm with you, Renita, I really do feel even, you know, with the act of having sex. I mean, you know, I don't think that makes you out of character. But I just really, if you know my heart, I know I'm on one of the days that, but if I'm not there, I just want that message put through to the young ladies that, or any ladies that, you know, having that desire, having that craving is not odd. It's not strange. It's none of that. It's just, it's a human natural feeling that we all have. So I'm all for it. I'm on my soapbox. I was for a minute.
Free.
Yeah, and you know what, I'm listening to what the both of you are saying, and what just, you know, comes to light for me is that we call it out, but then we don't teach. And what you are saying is, how do we teach you to walk in victory within the vessel that God has given you? And I'm going to tell you this because this is where I am right now. Like, I made a declaration, and I believe it's because of just the spirit, because of the sermons that I'm listening to. I'm being taught how to walk in the presence of the Lord, how to be obedient. Let me tell you, I know it's about to be lit up, how to just be a woman of God, like to really value what it is that I have to offer to a man, right? How to offer to myself, how to even be in a relationship, right? We weren't necessarily taught how to do these things. We saw, you know, thinking about, you know, in terms of, I desire him, so to be received, and I give myself to him, right? That is something that you do. This is a part of me that I want you to have in the show, but at the same time, it's more to me than just that. We can enter into relationships. We can think about one another within our mind. And so me just going back, literally, y'all, it's been a week. Where is the teaching? Yes, where is the teaching? Outside of calling out the sin, How do I operate in relationships?
Yes.
How do I go about it? How do I tell the Lord, like, truly, truly, no, I don't want to be sexually involved until I'm married. Yet, can you go back and be abstinent and be able to do this? And can God give you the power? Yes, He can, but we need to show the people how to do it.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the piece that is
Come on.
missing. I pray
Yes, ma'am.
that's something
I
that
love
we can tap into, yes, in this conference. And that's what I'm hearing you all say.
Yes.
Yeah, you better speak. Listen, we're gonna call you. Yes, because and listen, again, if you have not gotten your ticket for the conference, you need to get your ticket. This is exactly what we're speaking of, unmasking. The first thing you have to do is be honest with yourself. You can't fool yourself, you can't trick yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. Once you are honest with yourself, then you need to be somewhere where you're being taught.
Yes.
We always tell people, I said, sometimes people don't want to come to Christ because all they hear is about what you can't do. You can't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. Oh, that's
We
wrong.
don't teach about what they're free to do.
Right. But what do I do? You telling me to abstain, but I'm beeping, I'm tweaking, I'm doing all these things, and things is happening. So what do I do with all of this? You know, and
So the whole emptying yourself. Okay, what free is talking about is, yes, these are all byproducts after you find out who you belong to.
Mhm.
So half of the issues of the thoughting, the freaking, the doing whatever worldly things are side effects of sin. They are not the root of how you got there, but it's the side effect. But once you become privy to the information that you belong to God, once God owns you, He paid for you on Calvary. Once you accept that, it's easier. Not saying that it's going to be a fly by night, but it's easier to start understanding who you are in Him and who He is in you. Because last time I took the scripture, it says, I can do all things and Christ which strengthens me. Not I can do all things and stop being a thought. No, it's going to be, when it says all things, it's everything, not just something. Not the things I'm going to slide off and do and say, okay, God, you deal with this. I still got a problem over here. But if you yield, see, that's the thing. What free is talking about is a yielded life.
Right, but you got to get to the yielded life.
But you got to know who you are.
And that's true. But the thing about knowing who you are in Christ, and this is where, for me, churches fail. Before you know who you are, before any of those things, you got to be received in love. With loving kindness have I drawn thee. So if you meet me at the door and you already looking at the way I dress, you looking at that, because I came as I am. I'm coming a wretch undone. Jesus met the girl with 5 husbands. Hello, I'm the modern day woman at the well. He met her at that well, right where she was. The woman that was dragged all across town, that was butt naked and had just finished doing the do. She ain't get a chance to wash up. She came just like she was, dirty, filthy, with a little piece of that man on her body. And he didn't do any of the things we do in church. He didn't try to put a shawl on her. He didn't tell her to sit in the back. He didn't tell her nothing. He went to her. He accepted her as they were. He gave them identity, and then he sent them on their way and said, sin no more. So my thing is, a lot of times we want people to come in and have it together, but the only reason I came to the hospital is because I don't have it together.
Come on.
Amen.
You gotta let me be infected. You gotta let me be broken. You gotta let me be all of those things, and then start giving me some antibiotics, nurturing me and developing me. Then I can know who I am, because I don't want to be a part of who you say Christ is, and you mean, nasty, evil, backbiting, and you telling me my dress.
Come on, cuz.
I don't want to be a part of that Christianity. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm saved. I love the Lord, and I don't want none of that one. So that's the only thing I'm saying. You are 100% right. But before they can get identity, they got to be allowed to come. And we're going to just jump because our time getting beside us. Somebody brought up homosexuality.
Uh-oh.
So you got a lady and a man that's living together. They not married. They live together.
Mm-hmm.
They come to the church.
Mm-hmm.
They hold hands. They walk down the aisle together. They talk to the pastor. They do all of those things. But John and Bill, they can't come to the church and be a couple. Why is their sin? Oh, let's not even talk about John and Bill. Let's talk about Lily and Susie, because it's a women's conference. Lily and Susie, they want to hold hands. They can't come to the church and hold hands because they're a same gender loving couple. But Susie and David, they can, and they live together. They both doing the same thing. They both on both sides, they doing the same thing. But one is told to mask who they are. The other one is told it's not right, but we appreciate you coming. Then,
well, I'm gonna speak on that. Okay,
hold on, because I want you to speak on all of it. Then Lily and Susie, they go and they create their own church. Now we are condemning their church and saying it ain't a holy church, but we don't want them in our church. There you go. Where do they go? I think you froze because you still got your hand on your face.
Well, I'm gonna say a part before he come back in. The reason why I feel like we do that is because it looks right. It just looks right because you cannot understand that a couple is married. Because a lot of people don't wear the ring or don't have the stuff on, but it just looks like it's supposed to look like. We've been taught man with woman, and it just looks right. You know how we got a lot of people who don't, who back in the day used to be the face of something because it looked right. It ain't saying it was right. It just looked right, and it don't look right to what it's supposed to look when we see two women walking there together and we know they're living together. It just don't look right, and that's what a lot of us have to get past as Christians, as children of God, what it looked like. Because if we was to really get the cover pulled off of what we look like when we walk in there, it's the same situation. It just don't look right. And that's what we go off. We always look at people and we judge them by what it looks like, not by what it really is, but it's what it look like. Because like we said, sin is sin. But my sin don't look like your sin. Don't mean I ain't sinning. It just don't look like your sin. So we gotta put our glasses on or take our glasses off and say, I know what it looks like or what it's supposed to be, but I'm looking past what it looks like. I'm looking at the heart. I'm looking at situations, because you don't know the situation, what got them there. So let's like you said, Jazz said something what started us to get there. Let's go to the point where it started. The root cause. The root. And I need my brother to come back because I know he's gonna slam dunk this alley-oop. Where he at? Come on, Pastor Ron. Come on, get some of this.
He frozen. He had to go out. He coming back.
He had to go out and come back in.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I just had a close encounter with a family member and homosexuality, and it was official when I call it close. Military people will know what this is. Close quarter battle. It's different when it's across the street, but when it's on your porch, it hits a different way.
Amen. Amen.
So I actually found the love of God when dealing with this person. It was nothing they could do that can make me not love them. Now, do I agree with what you're doing? Nah, it ain't got nothing to do with that. But as a person, am I gonna love you? Yes. So it goes back to what he was saying, where it started, and it's not. That's the point. We always want to talk about the side effect of the homosexuality. What's the issue? The issue is not that he or she likes the same sex. What makes them think and what makes them believe that that's what's right or what's for them? So if we are all born in sin and shaped in iniquity, people had the conversation about, do you believe that they're born that way? I said yes. And the reason why I say yes is because they're shaped in sin. And means born in sin is shaped in iniquity. Just like somebody's having cancer as a child, born with AIDS, born with a cleft palate, not having a limb. It's a birth defect because of what Adam and Eve did when they unleashed hell upon the earth from disobedience of God. But we look at a person that if your child turns out gay, oh, I didn't teach him that. But what about your sin? You never said your sin was going to come back the same way, but you sinned as a person.
Amen.
And you
Oh, you
sinned as
better
a person
say that.
on top of the child. So, in you not having a relationship and staying close to God, your children have to feel that. But you saying, oh, I didn't teach them that. But you did something in the dark that don't nobody know about but you, but it came out in light in your child. Now you're embarrassed. Because as you said, somebody pulled the mask off, but it wasn't somebody, it was God. It was the Holy Spirit. It just showed up in a way that you thought was going to come back exactly what you did. No, sin sprouts like a nasty weed. Now look at this. If you look at the seed of sowing any seed, that's why it said you reap what you sow. So if you sow good, what comes back to you?
Good.
If you sow wicked, what comes back to you?
Wicked.
All right. So we all, people from Camelot and Gimbleton, if we go to a certain spot in those neighborhoods and it was nothing but asphalt, and a seed drop on that asphalt, we were like, hold up, ain't no dirt right there. But if we come back 30 years later, it might be a tree there. So no matter what, it wants to take root. So be careful what you sow. And don't think it's not going to show up in your face. And you be like, oh my God, who taught them that? Drop on that here doing this.
Pastor Paulette said, we easily condemn others when we ourselves aren't delivered. We try and hide in the church in positions and titles. Yet if we are following Christ, we should love like him. Yes. And
As
Jamie,
filthy rags. On your best day, as filthy rags. So you can't hide. And you lie to yourself.
We're gonna let you say what you're gonna say, because we going
Ron,
7 minutes and
come
we
on,
out.
please, Pastor, please clean up.
Go ahead, Pastor Ron. What do you feel about homosexuality?
Listen, I think the devil blocked my phone, man, because I was about to go in, but it gave me a minute to think about it. But the whole piece about it is this, like I said before, it's no little sin, big sin. And one thing I like to say this, and y'all will get this later. That's why I falls under nobody's umbrella, because I'm gonna preach and teach to whomever, and it's not going to be no cutoff for anyone. So as y'all go out there that's young in the ministry, and don't fall into getting under certain regimes, because you're not going to be able to really go out there and do a complete commission. But as far as homosexuality, like I said, I'm not going to really go into that. It's just a sin like every other sin. And if you're going to pray, it's a saying that I like to say, an old saying, God hates the sin, but he loves the sinner. So with that being said, we love everybody as we love the church, and we just keep it pushing.
Anybody else had anything on me? Anyone? No? Okay. All right. So the last thing that we're going to talk about really quick is forgiveness. Forgiveness. And that's what this whole conference is about. Forgiveness. It is the Forgive Her conference. We're telling you to forgive yourself because God already has. He's already forgiven you. He's already said that whatever it is that you've done, it was paid for by Jesus Christ. So why is it that you're still holding yourself guilty, still convicted, still doing all of those things behind something that you did? It is the time to forgive yourself. You cannot be who God is calling you to be, and you're living with unforgiveness. It's just like holding unforgiveness against someone else. Bitterness, resentment. That's why you start to mark yourself down on clearance. That's why you can't give yourself to a man That's why you can cheapen yourself and not go after your dreams, because you're harboring unforgiveness. So I, for a very long time, did not forgive myself for having failed marriages. Yes, with an S. I did not, because I was like, is something wrong with me? And it was. My picker was broke. Y'all should have told me that my picker was broke. But now I realize my picker was broke.
We've been telling you that for years.
But what? No, you did not. But what can I do about it? What can I do about it now? I can't go back and undo it. It's nothing I can do about it. So what we have to do is accept it. Like if you made mistakes with your kids, whatever your situation is. So talk to me about unforgiveness.
Forgiving yourself is the only way to be free, and freedom to operate in God's will in this way. We always talk about, when we think about forgiveness, we always think about, am I forgiving somebody outside of me? We never talk about the stuff that I'm upset with me about. Or it's, once again, it's one of those things. I'm lean on myself, but I'm hard on everybody else. Even to the point where I was like, oh, you say you're your biggest critic. That's a lie. Because you criticize somebody in a heartbeat and overlook what you just did 2 minutes ago. So forgiveness is that's a learned behavior. That is not something that you just automatically, oh, I forgive you. You did it as a child, but not as an adult.
Right. Anybody else?
Yeah, one thing that I truly believe, there's no way that you can forgive yourself or anybody else unless you involve God. You have got to go to God and seek his help in doing it. You cannot do it on your own. You think you have forgiven someone and you're going on with your life, and someone spoke earlier about triggers. There will be a trigger and you're right back to where you started from with that person or that situation. So I truly believe that. Don't try and do it on your own. Seek God, seek his strength and his wisdom to do that.
Yes. 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 Listen, forgive her because God already has. All right. So the whole purpose, we've already talked about that. This is just a snippet of what we will discuss. I will not be involved running my big mouth. Dr. Shannon will be hosting, and we will just have everyone just speaking up. But do you have a ticket? Who does not have a ticket for the conference? Put your name in the comments. Do you have a ticket? If you do not have a ticket, this is your opportunity to get a ticket.
Jasmine raised his hand.
Huh?
Anybody tell you to answer for me, Yomi? She said, put it in the comment. Hey, forever being ethnic.
Always.
She stopped her to say he raised his hand, Doc.
I mean,
Hey, listen. Can I get it? Can I get this short video for y'all real quick, Renita? Listen, if you do not have your ticket, please do not leave off this live feed tonight without having your ticket. I was in attendance last year. I know we were actually in the building, but the things that go on in these conferences are so amazing. You have individuals who have been through life that had to forgive themselves, and they shared their stories, and ministry and healing was really going on. So please, if you do not have your ticket, get your ticket. This is just not something to be doing just to say I got a YouTube or Facebook channel. This is real ministry, and ministry is happening. So please get your ticket tonight. That's all, cuz.
Yes, get your ticket. 2018 Break the Cycle. Now I'm not sure if that's the name that you were born with, but if you could let us know what your name is, inbox me. If you don't want to put your name out on Facebook, but inbox me so that I can get you your ticket. I told you guys we were giving away a ticket, and 2018 Break the Cycle. I love that. Are you still breaking the cycle in 2021? I'm just curious. Kathy Doja, yes, okay. You have a ticket coming to you. Woo woo! So I will be sending you some information. Thank you so much. All right, listen, like I said, this is just a snippet of what's going to happen. You do not want to miss it. So we have a serving while damaged class, we have a finance and entrepreneur class, and we have a forgiveness class. We have two dynamic speakers that's going to be happening. This is an abbreviated version of the conference because it's virtual. To get the full effect of this conference, we just know that we couldn't let it pass by, but we have to do it live. So we will be back 2022 in person, face to face, if God says the same. But we know that the same Holy Ghost that's in the building can be in the virtual sanctuary as well. So we're not going to limit God, and we're still going to look forward to breakthrough and chains being broken. So you do not want to miss this event. Like I said, Friday night, the 19th, it started with Dr. Shannon and these wonderful panelists that will be discussing topics like we discussed tonight. And then on Saturday morning, we have our morning glory with Pastor Rosalind Harrison. And then we have our 3 workshops. And then we have our closeout session with Pastor Dawn Michelle. You do not want to miss these powerful, anointed, gifted women of God. We have a praise and worship leader is Psalmist Jamie Doby, and we have Psalmist Charlene Perrier. You do not want to miss this event. We will respect your time because it is virtual, but we are moving solely by the moving of the Holy Spirit. So we have door prizes. We have all different types of things that we have going on, and we want you to be there. I want to thank each of you for your yes. I know that your busy schedule. You committed to this week and then to next week. I want to thank you. I want to thank the guys for being so transparent. I know Dr. Shannon is going to pull so much more out of you because this is what she do. She's just sitting back taking notes, and I'm going to give her a little bit of information. If there are some questions or anything that you would like for us to discuss, then please inbox me, let me know, and we will be sure to discuss those things. Again, I want to thank you on behalf of the willing workers. Was somebody saying something? Or was that in my brain? Okay, that was in my brain. On behalf of the willing workers, I just want to thank you. I want to tell you that I am so honored to be able to have this assignment from God. And I look forward to many, many more. I am going to get out of your hair, let you go. But remember, I am your girl, Dani. I am here every Thursday at 8:30. We will be talking about, after the Forgive Her conference, we will be talking about the counterfeit Christian. You do not want to miss that series, because counterfeit Christians is the reason why we are losing this battle on earth. And we are losing. The world is gaining our people. And it's time for the people of God, the remnant, those that know God, to stand up and boldly proclaim and go back out here and proclaim what it is God is calling us to do. Listen, God's not losing. We are losing because we are afraid. Everybody else's voice is louder than the Christian voice, and not the not the one that's calling for those African angels. I ain't talking about those Christians.
Come on now. Hey, Yomi, go get on that piano back there and give her some closing music. Come on now.
Yeah, that's a backdrop.
I know. I'm just messing with you because it's real nice.
I got it.
I'm gonna run through and let y'all got 15 seconds to say something and then get out of here. All right? Dr. Shannon, we'll let you start since you was last.
Well, I know this year is going to be dynamic. I'm grateful for being here. We've already started healing. So I know we have another week to get ourselves together and to bring forth our truth. Speak your truth. We all need your truth. Truth will set us all free. So speak your truth. I look forward to hearing you guys' truths.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Free.
I'm truly looking forward to not only this panel discussions and seeing everyone else, but growth in myself. This has been a growth year for me. That's what the pandemic has done. So I'm looking forward to more growth.
Amen.
Yes. Yes. Me too. California.
That is so hilarious. California. I mean, I'm just appreciative of the opportunity. I'm thankful that you and my sister, thought about me to invite me here. I mean, just God is miraculous. So I'm looking forward to, sharing the things that He is doing in my life with you all next week. So just again, thank you.
Yes. All right. Gentlemen's.
Just want to thank y'all for allowing me to be back with y'all. I just want to let you know my message Sunday was it's time to forgive. And that was part of the do that came from this conference. I told you I got a breakthrough in the conference. And I remembered that conference and things that were going on when I preached that message. And God allowed me to forgive myself to tell somebody about forgiveness.
Yes. Yes. Pastor Ron.
I think going forward this year and on beyond is the way we get to healing is transparency. And I think next week is going to really be a major event. And it's glad to see one of the brothers that was there last year and that could speak to that. But transparency is the way to healing. And I thank you again for thanking that much of me to be on this panel. And I just hope that somebody really gets it next week. And, we doing God's work, and as we do God's work, His people will be blessed.
Yes. Yes. And Deacon Jab.
It's an awesome thing to see. Not one, not two, not three, but four pretty much family members I've seen grow into where they are right now. And it's awesome in itself. And I was just actually praying. I was actually in consecration before I got onto this panel, and I asked God to use me in any way He saw fit. And as I see, He's really up to the challenge. So it's an honor. It's good to be around good people, good godly folks, doing something outside of themselves to help other people who don't understand that they're not the only ones going through what they're going through.
Yes. Yes. Next week, when you guys put your names in there, could you also put like your social media, like at whatever your social media is? So, because people probably will want to follow you after that. All right, you guys, listen. I am so grateful and so thankful for everyone that has been a part of this and everyone that is a part of this conference. I could not do it without the Willing Workers team, without Yo-Yo, and without Minister Sheila. They have been pivotal in helping me with this conference. Y'all know I get excited and get tongue-tied. It's just been such a blessing for God to use somebody like me. Everybody, I'm not ashamed to tell my testimony. I was fighting, twerking, and whatever else I could do because I did not love, like, or respect myself. But God showed me who I was, just like Free was saying. He showed me who I was, and He turned this dirt into something beautiful. And it don't matter if you think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And that's all that matters. And I will shout across the rooftop that my God is good and that you should try Him and see, because there's nothing like peace. There's nothing like joy. There's nothing like being in the room by yourself and loving the person that you're spending time with. It's nothing like it. So I want everybody to feel what I feel, because I had to forgive her because she was jacked up. She had done a lot of things. She had made a lot of bad decisions. But then God told me, why are you mad at her when I've already forgiven her? So if God has forgiven her, why can't I forgive her? So I did. It was a process. It took some time, but forgive her because God has. If you do not have your t-shirt, let me know. I will put the link up so you can order your t-shirt. You have to order it by this weekend in order to have it for the conference. We are wearing our t-shirts on Saturday. T-shirt Saturday. All right, listen, I love y'all. It's late. I got homework to do. This is finals. I graduate tomorrow. Wow! Yes! 6 years I've been in school. 6 years. Not because I'm slow, but
You're
because
super senior.
I didn't know what I wanted to do.
You're super senior.
He said I'm super slow. See, I thought I had muted them.
No, I didn't say super slow. I said a super senior.
Oh, see, I'm sorry. He didn't say I was slow. Anyway, I love y'all. I love you guys. Good night.
Night, night, baby.
So it's over, you guys. Thank you so much. I love you.
If you need a good laugh, spirit lifted, or encouragement, you are enough.